Welcome back to Your Hour. Joining me now is Jamie Whitfield, who's my assistant and a recovering addict. Um, although I think that as far as the journey goes, you're well on your way. I mean, you've been delivered.
Yes, I have, and we do recover.
Hmm.
So it's amazing. Today's my 290th day clean.
Very
So
good.
yes,
Very good. Well, I understand you've got a special message for someone.
yes. I wanted to wish my son. He's 18 today. Antonio, happy birthday to you, baby.
It's hard to believe you've got an 18-year-old.
I know.
Yeah, you find it hard to believe too, don't you? You know, in the course of recovery, there are a lot of things that are going on in your body, your brain, and your body, because of the fact that you've heaped so much abuse on it over the time that you were using. Your body has to recover,
Yes.
and your brain has to recover.
Yes.
And there's actually a term that you have used, and
Right.
I'd like you to talk about that
Okay.
today.
Um, what I wanted to talk about today is it's a syndrome called PAWS, and it's called post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And there's a difference between acute withdrawal, which happens early into when you first quit
Yeah.
your drug of choice, and so that typically lasts a few days to a couple weeks, and then you go to the post-acute withdrawal, where it is basically where your brain is trying to heal and go back to normal state. And it's a slow process, it happens sporadically at different times, and it's basically your brain is healing from putting in the drugs, and it's trying to go back to normal state, and so an equal basically the equilibrium of your brain with the endorphins and the dopamine. And so what happens though with this is that it causes there's a few symptoms: insomnia, irritability, anxiety, depression, impaired concentration, lack of motivation, mood swings, fatigue, foggy thought process, poor memory, poor impulse control, increased sensitivity to stress and cravings, and dreams, dreams of using. And so it also, you know, and it also increases if you're not if you don't have the right coping
Tools.
skills and stuff for that. It also increases your chance of relapse if you're not
Sure. Sure, I could see that.
aware of it. So for I've been suffering a lot from it here lately, just here and there, and I can go like a month without it happening, and then bam, it hits again.
Yeah.
And sometimes it kind of leads me into a little trouble if I don't talk about it, and some people are not even aware about what's going on.
Well,
They
that's
just think
just
it's
it.
them. They think, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy, I'm in relapse mode, and it's not that. It is your brain literally just trying to heal back to normal state. And like I said, it takes about 2 years to fully heal from your putting in all that, the drugs and the substances, and it takes your brain that long to heal again.
Sure. It's going, why aren't you feeding me?
Right.
Um, a lot of those symptoms, though, a lot of people might have a tough time relating those to recovery because they're thinking, well, I'm getting older, maybe I'm losing my memory, or, um, scatterbrain. Sometimes
Right.
some of us are just scatterbrained from
Right.
time to time, and we don't think a thing about it.
Right. Well, and this would only apply to people that are in recovery the first 2 years is
Yeah,
what.
but even those people might not, if they're not aware of this
Oh, yes.
syndrome,
Yes.
they might try to chalk it up to other things.
Right, and it is just something that you have to be aware of, because I learned about it while I was in inpatient treatment, and then it just kind of stuck with me, because then when I was in outpatient treatment, I just was suffering from different things, and I asked my counselor, and so she did a session about educating us again on pause, and so that's why my awareness is I'm so in tune with it,
Yeah.
and I do know when it's happening, and I've told you about it, like I'm suffering, and not to use it as an excuse to just be agitated or having these mood swings, but it does explain a lot of what I'm going through, and like the foggy thought process, like sometimes like I can't even find my way around town. Sometimes I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you, Jamie? And really it's just my brain trying to heal. And but and I can see why it could increase your chances to relapse because it's discomforting,
Yeah.
and it just kind of happens out of the blue. And if you're just not,
Not prepared.
yeah, it could really take you to a different mind frame and just take you somewhere where you don't want to be.
Yeah. Or where you shouldn't be anyway.
Right. And so the coping mechanisms for it though is to obviously, know in your heart and in your mind that this too shall pass. It's not it's a temporary thing, and it's just your brain is it's a natural occurrence. It's just healing. And exercise, self-care, utilizing your support group, your support network, your sponsor, whoever you can reach out to kind of process what you're going through, getting enough rest, just like the self-care, that just goes with everything. And
Right.
so, and just being educated on pause is a major thing that could help you through this time, your first 2 years.
And I think that it's important that a lot of people get this information because if their counselors haven't told them about it, or if they weren't maybe paying attention,
Right.
and didn't learn about it, this could be very disconcerting.
Yes, yes. And it's like I said, it's something that if you're not aware and you don't educate yourself on, it could easily take you into a relapse, because it's discomforting. You're experiencing things that you experienced while you were using, so it's just like, and then that goes with, you're battling with your mind again, like, oh my goodness, like I can't sleep. I didn't do any drugs, but I can't go to sleep, or why am I so agitated and want to be aggressive, and it's just, and the mood swings, and just, I know I've been suffering a lot from it here lately, and
I've noticed.
and so, I feel better today, and it usually only lasts a few days. You know what I mean? And then it'll go away. And sometimes you might not experience for another month, but then it's sporadic,
Yeah.
and then it'll just hit you, and then you're like, oh my goodness, so.
So you kind of got to be on your toes about
Yes.
things like that and
Yes.
recognize them for what they
Yes,
are.
and just education, just educate yourself on it, because even through my meetings, I hear people saying, well, I feel I'm clumsy, I can't get my thoughts together, I can't do this, and I'll tell them, hey, I think you're suffering from pause, you should read about, pause, you should read about it, because you'll know that you're not going crazy,
Well, and you can find this segment and others on YouTube on Recovery Matters, and I would invite you to watch them and subscribe.